Albert Einstein. The name alone is synonymous with genius. But here's the thing. Albert Einstein wasn't born with some superhuman brain or some really rare talent. In fact, Albert Einstein once said, "I have no special talents. I am only passionately curious." So what if the secret to thinking like a genius isn't just for a selected few? What if it's something we can all learn? In this video, we're going to break down Einstein's thought process in a pyramid of 3 elements: curiosity, imagination, and simplicity. Together, they form a powerful formula that anyone, yes anyone, can use to think like a genius. From building a business, to doing everyday tasks, to chasing your dreams. Let's discover how to think like Albert Einstein. 1. Curiosity. Einstein famously once said, "I have no special talents. I am only passionately curious." And that's the first piece of the genius formula. His relentless curiosity is what led him to his greatest achievements. Take Einstein's theory of relativity. It all started with him asking a basic question that no one else thought to explore. What happens if you move at the speed of light? Einstein didn't just accept what was already known, he questioned everything. But Einstein wasn't the only one. Leonardo da Vinci, the Renaissance man, he was famous for his extreme curiosity from the most random things. I mean, anyone who's done research on Da Vinci knows that he had heavy ADHD and he was super curious with everything. He writes down in his notebook the question like, how do birds fly? How do you build a tank? How do you build a helicopter? Like these super random questions he used to ask. Da Vinci spent years studying anatomy, engineering, art, and way more. And all of this was driven by the same desire to ask the question, why and how? His curiosity about the human body led him to create some of the most accurate anatomical drawings of his time, and this was way before any modern medicine. Steve Jobs is another great example. While he wasn't a scientist, he was intensely curious about how technology could influence the human experience. His curiosity pushed him to explore fields outside of computing, which eventually influenced the groundbreaking simplicity of Apple. You see, curiosity is about exploring the unknown. It's the first step in any great discovery, and you don't need to be a scientist or a physicist or an artist to use it. All you need to do is ask better questions, whether it's in your job, hobby, everyday life. Steve Jobs, Da Vinci, and Einstein, of course, all use curiosity as a guide in their life. So ask yourself, what questions are you not asking? 2. Imagination. Visualizing what others can't see. Einstein didn't only rely on hard data or logic. He famously once said, "Imagination is more important than knowledge." I don't necessarily agree with this, but I do think that the fact that Einstein even said this is quite important. So we should take imagination way more serious, including me. Let's take his most famous equation, for example. E equals mc squared. This wasn't a product of traditional methods. It came from his ability to visualize complex scenarios in his mind. He constantly imagined thought experiments where he'd imagine the wildest situations. For example, he envisioned what would happen if you were in a free-falling elevator. He realized that inside the elevator, you wouldn't feel your own weight, just like astronauts floating in space. This led him to one of his most important principles in physics, the equivalence principle. And Einstein wasn't alone. He wasn't the only one who used imagination to unlock breakthroughs. Nikola Tesla, one of the greatest inventors in history, famously conducted entire experiments in his mind before ever building a physical model. Tesla would visualize each component, how it interacted and what could go wrong, all without lifting a tool. Walt Disney also built an empire on imagination. Disney used his imagination to build a universe that lives on today through films, theme parks, and media. He imagined possibilities that others couldn't, just like Einstein and Tesla. You see, imagination turns ideas into innovation. Use your imagination to explore new possibilities, and allow your mind to experiment with ideas that might seem impossible at first. The final piece of the Einstein formula is simplicity. Einstein had the incredible ability to take the most complex problems and distill them into simple ideas. His famous quote says it all: "If you can't explain it simply, you don't understand it well enough." When Einstein introduced his theory of relativity, he explained it in a way that was simple. He turned equations that describe the universe into concepts that anyone could grasp, and that's what genius often is. It's not about overcomplicating things. I mean, we all know those type of people that use the most difficult words in order to come over as smart. But that's actually the opposite of a genius. A genius is able to simplify a complex idea. It's about cutting through the noise and getting to the core of the problem or the idea. Personally, I believe if you can't explain your idea to a toddler, then you don't understand it well enough. The ability to simplify complex issues is what will help you with creating breakthroughs, and this could be at work, in science, but also in relationships. If you're able to simplify things, it's easier to find an answer. Simplicity brings clarity, and clarity is needed in order to find a solution. Stripping away the unnecessary details is what's going to help you with focusing on what truly matters. So from now on, every issue that gets thrown at you in life, simplify it. So there you have it, the Einstein formula. And besides Einstein, like mentioned before, Da Vinci, Jobs, Disney, they all use the same principles in order to achieve greatness and a level of genius. But here's the most important part. You don't have to be a founder of a company or a scientist or an inventor or whatever to use these principles in your day-to-day life. They can be applied by anyone. Be curious about the world around you. Let your imagination explore beyond the limits of what you know, and always try to simplify the complex. If you enjoyed this video, then I think you enjoyed this one too. Please make sure to like and subscribe, and I hope to see you in the next video. Take care. Bye.